I'm Cheryl Burke, and you probably know me from a little dance show called Dancing with the Stars. What you don't know is that I have been in and out of therapy for basically my entire life. I've been sober for 3 years now, and I have an amazing new obsession that I use to help process my feelings, diamond painting. And I want to share my new obsession with my celebrity friends while trading stories you've never heard before. This is Diving Deep.
I'm AJ McLean, born in West Palm Beach, Florida, and you know me from the Backstreet Boys.
Welcome to my diamond painting room. Are you wondering why you're sitting on a furry stool about to do some arts and crafts or what?
With you, no, I'm not actually. This is pretty much par for the course.
Okay, cool. And now we're gonna diamond paint.
I've been really wanting to try this.
Why?
You've described it so well to me that it's like your zen.
It is my zen.
You and I are very much the same when it comes to like, we're a little neurotic when it comes to like things. So
little OCD.
I hope if I get into this that it doesn't become like,
it's going to be.
oh yeah, I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
Dang.
It is, and you and your daughters could do it together.
That's what scares me the most because I just picture all these little pieces all over the house.
I shower and they're on my butt.
Yeah, see?
It's really weird.
Lyric,
I don't diamond
Lyric
paint
will make
naked,
a mess
but...
of this. Ava would probably love this. Lyric will make a mess.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's get to it. So the reason why, you basically summarized it. It is my way of like therapy. It's very therapeutic for me. And this is just been a lifesaver. So let's get to the blingy of it all.
Okay.
I picked a butterfly for you because it reminds you of your grandma, remember?
Yes, it does. Nice.
Remember, of course you remember. And you're like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, that's my thing.
But can you tell us why?
You know, growing up, I was always told that when someone passes away, you see them as a butterfly. Mm-hmm. And usually it's white butterflies. It's not monarchs or any of them.
Or purple.
Or purple or pink. But I've never even seen a pink butterfly. But I didn't really buy into it until literally maybe 6 months after my grandmother passed away did I literally almost once a day see a white butterfly.
Oh, wow.
And so now, anytime I see any butterfly, it doesn't matter if it's white, purple, pink, blue, I just go, hey, what's up, Grandma? Oh my God, this is fun. I'm not even exaggerating. This is actually fun.
Right? It really is fun.
It's soothing.
It really is.
Okay, move you over. Get over there.
I
got it.
Are you talking to your diamond painter?
I talk to myself on the
I
daily.
talk to myself a lot too. What do you say?
Well, first things first.
Damn, you look sexy.
Never that. Well, no, now more that I've been sober for as long as I have now, I actually...
love your inner child?
I love myself today.
That's
way
great.
more than I ever used to. But what's interesting is I got this tattoo around my neck backwards, purposely. And it says, if you're going through hell, keep going. So every morning I read that to myself. No, it just makes me go, you know what? It doesn't matter how good or bad the day is. You just got to keep moving forward.
Yep.
And
I like it.
That's the way I carry every day.
Since it's backwards, you can read it through a mirror, right? Is that the whole thing?
I saw somebody once at an AA meeting who had tattoos on his arms. One said gratitude and one said faith, but they were backwards. And I'm trying to listen to everybody speak in the meeting, but the whole time I'm like tuning everyone out and just staring at this guy's forearms, trying to figure out what is wrong with you?
Right.
Why is it backwards?
Right.
The second we were done with the meeting, I said, excuse me, I have to ask probably a really dumb question. You've probably been asked 1,000 times. Why? And he explained to me that when he brushes his teeth in the morning, he can see gratitude.
Does he use both hands?
And he uses both for faith, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So that sparked me to want to get it backwards.
Would you say you're an adrenaline junkie?
Only when I'm on stage.
You love the feeling of like high and coming.
I live to perform. So, and I know that literally that's the one place I'm untouchable. I can do whatever I want.
Do you find it like really, so you never get stage fright?
Nope.
So where do you think you get that confidence? Like you always had it, right? Did it help?
I've just always been that way. My mom said when I was baptized and they pulled me out of the water,
you were singing about
every other kid that got baptized either pissed or pooped themselves or was crying. I came out and I was like this.
Stop it.
Just like
Your teeth and everything.
in a church full of people just smiling.
That's
like,
amazing.
And my mom was like, oh, he's going to be
A performer.
a performer.
Do you find that it was a way of like numbing and escaping reality whenever you would perform, or
Well,
still do?
If you would know this as well, like when you're performing, it's, I don't want to say a fantasy world, but it's not real in a sense. Like it's.
But you bring reality to
No, you do, yes.
Yeah.
But like.
I get it.
There's performing, and then when you walk off stage, that's real life.
Yes.
Now, I, for years, had a problem separating the two, which is a lot of the reason why I became an addict and all
Wait,
of
say
that.
more. What do you mean by separating the two?
Well, because I kept I never turned it off. So the attention I got on stage, I craved that off stage. And I felt like I needed that to feel good about myself. And now I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit.
Do you think that's why you did drugs and alcohol, to try and get that high back?
No, I did that just to kind of feel accepted, because if the people I was hanging out with were doing it, then why not me do it? So I can kind of fit in. I was always trying to fit in with whatever crowd.
With the cool crowd.
Well, what I thought was the cool crowd.
Exactly.
Any way that I could find a way to not deal with real life,
Reality, yeah.
then that was always when I was drinking and doing whatever else I was doing.
I guess the question is more like, so what were you numbing? Like what part in your life?
I was numbing that, feeling of acceptance and just like knowing that, really believing that I'm no better and no worse than anybody else. Because I always told myself, or the addict at least told me, oh, you're better than them, then you're better than that. Or you're a piece of crap, you're worse than them, so you might as well stoop to their level, because that's all your self-worth is.
How many times did you relapse, or how many times did you try and do something?
Oh, countless, my dear.
If you don't mind me asking, what step are you on currently?
4th, the one that's the mother humper of all steps.
What is 4 again?
A fearless and moral inventory of yourself.
What does that entail?
That entails basically going through, you make a list of the people that you have affected or that have affected you.
You have a binder full?
I mean, like a list, a binder full, you can. What your part was in it, what their part was in it. My alcoholism affected everybody in my life. And what's interesting is when you finally get sober, sometimes without even doing it, you realize the people that are meant to be in your life and the people that were only in your life because of what you were doing. And when I got sober the first time for 7 years, it was instant how many people jumped ship on me. And I was like, okay, well now I know you answered that question for me. Now I know why you were my friend, is because you knew I could get you into the clubs and the parties and the blah, blah.
So what made you stop? Like what made you make the decision, like I'm done?
The first time was, we were supposed to throw the first pitch out at a Major League Baseball game in Boston. And the night before, when we got news that we were gonna do it, we knew that it was our day off. Everybody agreed to do it. That night, I proceeded to party my ass off. And the next morning, I decided I don't wanna do it. And that did not fly with my bandmate, Kevin. He broke my hotel room door down. He couldn't get into my room because it had a double bolt. But we exchanged words.
What kind of words? You can speak freely.
Basically, fuck you. You're a piece of shit, da-da-da. But the biggest one that really was the turning point was, you are dead to me, and I will never trust you again.
No.
So I freaked out. I said, I quit. I want out of the group. I don't need this. This is bullshit. Straight denial, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I went literally from the hotel to Tucson, Arizona, what they call going door to door. I didn't go home. I literally left with the clothes I had on tour.
Got it.
And went to Sierra Tucson in Tucson, Arizona for 28 days. Stayed sober for 7 years after that. I went to a meeting a day for the first 2 years. And then that slowly started to dissipate. Then it became the white knuckling. Even though I had zero cravings, I had zero desire to drink. I could be in a bar, I could be around all of it, and I had no desire. And the relapse that happened had nothing to do with me. I watched our old security, who's now since passed away, get into a fight with Nick. Everybody was drinking. They got into an argument. It stressed me out. I went back to my hotel room. I popped on a movie, opened up my mini bar to get a soda, didn't even look, just grabbed, pulled out a Heineken, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have a sip. Didn't even finish it. Didn't pick up a drug or drink for 4 more months. Nothing. Not even a sip.
Did you go back to the meeting and be like, I'm not?
Nope. I wasn't going to meetings anymore at that point. Once it goes from 1 to 2 drinks to 3 drinks.
So what was that turning point when you came home from Vegas?
20 months ago, I went to Vegas to see a friend of mine opening night, Shania Twain, opening night at the Zappos venue, which is where we were for our Vegas residency. The way my brain worked is already on the drive to the airport, I texted my dealer. I'm already getting ready to like go to the same bar where I get my drinks for free. Like I set it all up thinking, okay, if I start early, I could sober up before I get home and nobody will be the wiser. And even though my wife can tell immediately just in the first 5 seconds on the phone.
Oh, wow.
So, needless to say, I didn't stop all night, did not sleep, smelled like a damn bar when I got home. And when I saw my girls, I went to give my youngest a hug and she scooted away from me and she said, "You don't smell like my dad." And that was it. I literally called my sponsor. I said, "I am done." And he said, "Okay. I mean, I've heard you say this 1 trillion times," but he could hear a difference in my tone. So the very next night, I went to a sober living to support a friend of ours that had 3 years sober. And I told him, I said, "I'm done." He said, "All right, well, be at my house tomorrow and let's start getting into the, big book." I showed up 30 minutes early, as I always do,
So annoying.
And I know, sorry. I hate being late. It's just, I don't like it.
And you're stuck to get the coffee then every single time.
Exactly.
You have to...
I know. I'm like your little errand boy. I love it. We finished our tour up in South America. We had to cancel our last show due to the pandemic. We flew home 3 days before the lockdown happened. We got lucky with that. Once we started our Zoom meeting, I was like, this is amazing. And
that it is
I have been sober ever since. And I have traveled to Vegas.
I know. That's crazy.
By myself since then.
Was it not triggering at all?
No, it's weird. Like I looked at Vegas like, ew. I think about the aftermath.
Right.
Immediately. Where before, I would try to manipulate the aftermath. But now I'm like, okay, you know what's going to happen if you pick up that drink.
So you're
probably going to end up divorced. You're going to I go through the whole thing now.
Well, that's good.
And I'm like, nope. So I move on.
Were you very codependent?
Oh my God, yeah.
And people pleaser.
Major people pleaser. And I would get into relationships midway through and go, my God, this bitch is crazy. Or like
to yourself?
No, to myself. And like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Right.
But then I go into rescue mode. Like, I want to fix her. Or I would sabotage a relationship purposely just to fix it. Because then it gave me self-worth, quote unquote.
Do you feel like you have self-worth now? Or do you feel like you have more to work on?
Oh, there's a lot more to work on. Once I get through my 4th step, I know from what I've heard from others in the rooms, everything changes.
Would you say you're almost done with the 4th step?
Not even close.
Is it an everyday thing?
I've been putting it off, honest to God. And I just talked to my sponsor the other day, and he said, "Look, I don't always just talk to you and bombard you with program." He said, "But do yourself a favor. Finish your 4th step before you go back on tour."
You had to cancel a tour, right? Because of your...
When I went to rehab the first time, we had to shut down a tour.
Was it like the European tour?
Nope, we were in the U.S., Black and Blue tour in 2001.
And how did you, was there shame behind it or what?
No, the boys just wanted me to be okay and not die. So I left straight to go to Tucson, and they went on TRL the very next morning and made the announcement.
We do have big news. Backstreet have joined us today because going through a pretty serious situation, I think it's safe to say. The remaining U.S. and Canadian tour dates have been postponed. AJ McLean's going through some stuff, being treated for, at the moment, 30 days for depression and alcohol abuse.
He knows he has a problem. He wants to get it fixed. But AJ's love is, as all the fans know, is up on stage. He thrives for that attention. He loves it so much.
I, to this day, have never seen that episode. I have never seen it.
Oh, really?
Nope, never seen it.
So we have something in common, and our dads are, have moved on.
Yes.
How's the grieving process?
For me, it's been, I try to just let my body grieve the way that it's going to grieve.
When you first found out that your stepdad passed, did you think of using?
Nope.
Not once?
Nope, because I knew that's the last thing my mom or my wife needed.
Totally.
Because that's not going to help. Now after something so catastrophic, now you have to worry about me.
Right, then, okay, so now I see your change of thinking in a good way is you're thinking about the lives around you and your loved ones around you.
Because I affected everybody so much with my stupidity.
Yeah. How did your wife handle it all?
She went to Al-Anon for a while when she first realized that it was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did coke right in front of her when we were dating, but she, in her mind, thought, oh, maybe it's just a casual thing. Yeah. It's not like he's gonna do this every day.
7,000 times a day.
Yeah, so she had to do her due diligence, but at the same time, I put her through the ringer, and before I got sober this time and really took it seriously, there was talk of calling it quits.
Was that the first time she ever said that?
She dangled a carrot once, but this time she actually, you could see it in her eyes, she was serious. And not so much to be mean or to I'm gonna get back at you. It was, I can't sit and watch you kill yourself. And I can't subject my kids, our family, our kids to watch you kill yourself. Right, if you're gonna continue this, I'm gonna relieve myself from the situation and maybe it'll work down the road, but I can't watch this.
And that was this last time. But prior to that, since you said you've relapsed a lot, she never threatened your marriage?
No, we were able to work through it, but the trust was gone. Even through all of that, to the point where I'd FaceTime her, she knew I was drunk. We would just have a brief conversation. She would wait the next day for me to be honest. I wouldn't. It would take a month. Then I was honest. And then, her biggest thing was, look, I know relapse, unfortunately, is part of the deal, but all I ask from you is just be honest. Because if you tell me, hey, you know what, babe, sorry, I freaking relapsed last night. Okay, am I mad? No, I'm bummed, disappointed, but now I have time to process it. You never gave me that time. Instead, you lied every single time.
Do you have a problem with feeling your feelings?
I used to. I used to have a big problem with just letting myself feel.
Like be vulnerable?
Yeah, well, not vulnerable, just letting myself be comfortable in my emotions, whether it's happy. My therapist, in my opinion, had the best analogy for it, which is, imagine you're rowing in a rowboat with the current. But that's basically life is going your way. It's going great. You're going with the current. You don't even have to paddle. Then I would turn around and try to swim back upstream because I didn't feel like I had any self-worth. Life's going great, so I gotta find a way to fuck it up. So that I can fix something. That was part of my codependency. Was just wanting to people please and wanting to fix things and
But
fix
even
people.
within yourself?
I didn't care about myself. I just wanted to make sure everyone else was good. Caregiving.
You would not put yourself first,
Never.
obviously.
Never.
Got it.
Now, it's God and then me, then my family.
So this is what's hard for me.
Has to be.
It's been hard to connect to my spiritual being.
But your spiritual being can be whatever you so choose it to be. It doesn't have to be the big G word.
It's not like I don't believe in it. It's just that it's hard for me to, that's what it is. I just don't really, truly believe.
Not yet, but you will. There will be a spiritual awakening. That's one of the promises, is that there will be a spiritual awakening.
How?
It's different for everybody, and it's a different time for everybody.
How is yours?
Mine was when my daughter said what she said to me. I literally dropped to my knees that night and I was like, I need to get this right. I cannot lose my kids. I can't lose my family. I need to get this right. I mean, I've been open about my struggle with drugs and alcohol for 2 reasons. One is, you know, step 12 is to basically share your experience, strength, and hope with another alcoholic and to help others get sober. I want to do my part in helping others that, you know, if you can make yourself relatable, even if you're in the limelight, you make yourself relatable to people that are like, oh my God, that person is going through the exact same thing I'm going through. And it doesn't matter if you're famous or not famous, you're still an addict. And the other reason, honestly, is I'm an open book. I don't like secrets. I don't like to keep things from people. I get up first every morning at my house.
That's good.
It's twofold. I get up for my morning meditation. I get up to have the last ounce of quiet time I'll have for the day, because once my kids are up, it's daddy time. I usually say my prayers in the shower.
With your socks?
Yeah, I just with my socks on. No, I just like to, you know, like I don't do the typical sit down and but I just have my own little meditation process. It's kind of its own thing. I notice a difference when I don't meditate and I don't pray that day. I'm a little quicker to be responsive in a way that I don't want to be, where I'm a little, you know, not negative, but yeah, I just get a little aggressive. Whereas if I did pray that morning or I did meditate that morning, chances are I'm going to be a little bit more.
What do you say for your prayer? The Serenity Prayer?
I finish with the Serenity Prayer, but I usually start with actually having a prayer for my enemies, for people
Who are your enemies? Tell me more.
No, just people that have maybe hurt me in some capacity. You know, I pray for people that are less fortunate. I pray for my family. I pray for you.
Thanks.
I do. I pray for you.
That's so sweet of you.
Pray for Nene. I pray for all my peeps.
Do you find this to be therapeutic? Like, do you find, like, for me, I'm definitely a better listener, even though I interrupted you twice, but that's...
No, but I do. Like, oh, I'm on a tear right now. They're all lined up perfectly. I'm just gonna picky, pokey, pokey, picky. I do love this. This is actually way more fun than I thought it would be.
Right? I'm up till 6 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, that I won't do.
Yeah, right.
But, no.
I have never seen the sun come up more sober in my life.
But see, here's the thing that I used to do. I, as a joke, started making my own jewelry. And it became like this. Like, I'd be up for hours on end, putting all the beads through, tying everything off. I made 1,500 pieces.
Wait, what do you mean a joke?
Like, it was just like a little, okay, let's make it a hobby, a joke. It's not really gonna be serious. And then
you sold it?
My friend goes, dude, you should sell this. And then I was like, okay. And I sold a few, but then I realized how much work I would have to hire an entire team.
Sure.
A bunch of Cheryls.
I'd get that shit done quick.
I know you would. Trigger!
The baggie?
The bag is like, here you go, look at this, here you go. I'm trying to get the last one down. Got it. Got it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I hope you guys got that right now.
That's a big bag right there, man.
That's how
They
much.
always would jip you and only do like less than half. It's like, why you're wasting plastic?
And it's rat poison.
I'm gonna beat you right now.
We're talking about quality, right?
Not quantity.
And I must say, if I were to judge this between a 1 and a 10,
this isn't too bad.
As far as quality goes, I'd say a 4.
What? That is impressive for my first time. I was really on a run there. Like, I was almost done, but yes.
Doesn't it make you so happy?
See,
for me, it's about the journey.
I did that.
Congrats.
I did that.
I'm so proud of you. Now, if you were to rate this project from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Did it help you with your mental health?
I'd say 9. Easily.
Did you feel like you were able to, like, talk about your life
I
more
just felt
easily?
more cash.
Right?
More laid back.
God, I love it.